Hey guys, welcome to the Somyn demo. Here you can see the home page of the somynjournal.app, but you're not really here to view that page. You're here to see how the app works. So what we'll do first, I'm going to show you sort of my account and how I use it and ways that you can use it too. So up here in this top right, we're going to click Go to Dashboard. And this is where everything lives. So on our home page here too, it's really more of a dashboard, so you can kind of quickly click through a few things. If you drank and ate a glass of water, which I did today at least, we can just tap that one time and log that you drank some water. This is just a quick check-in. I say, how are you? I'm happy, I'm good, I'm neutral, I'm a little bit low energy, or I'm calm. So I'm actually feeling pretty calm right now. If you'd like to take a moment to maybe just leave a little bit of gratitude. Today I am thankful for great friends. Just sort of log that away and reference it later. Food and fluids. Most people do not use this as any sort of calorie tracker, or they're not measuring their food. What we're going to do is focus on logging meals and the way that they feel to you. So, you have the option to either take or upload a photo, which is great if you just want a reminder later. But let's just say I'm going to record that I ate some salmon and risotto. Did not spell that right. One of my favorite meals. Let's just go ahead and say that I ate that at around 6:30 p.m. not a.m. We'll save that. Now, this is a big one. So how hungry were you before eating? And I get to select the hunger level. And you know what? I was pretty hungry, ready to eat. So this hunger scale is very words and feeling oriented. So yes, hungry is ready to eat, but ravenous is that's when you describe that hangry feeling, if you don't eat, you're gonna die. But yeah, this is the hungry, ready to eat. So that's what I am. How are you feeling? So this one asks what emotions you are feeling when you went to eat the meal. And if you notice, there are a lot of emotions to pick from here. All these emotion choices came from the feelings wheel, which if you don't know about that, look it up. It's a very common psychology tool to kind of identify what we're feeling. But right now, I'm feeling happy. So I'm energetic, I'm excited, and optimistic. So that's what I'm feeling. What was my intention? I just wanted nourishment from my food, and or I can also pick, it's a meal I enjoy with friends. So yeah, that was something that I ate on a social meal. This is another great question too. How hungry were you after you stopped eating? So I could either put that I was neutral, I was not hungry or full, I got slightly full, I was full or satisfied, or I was very stuffed. So stuffed I think of as Thanksgiving meal stuffed. So I ate until I was satisfied. And if there was anything else I noticed about the meal, how did it make me feel, if there are any observations, I would put them here and I can save the meal. And it makes a little noise when I save it. Can also mark how what I drank. So if it was just a water, more of a juice, a tea, or a coffee. I usually drink tea with mine. Had about 16 ounces. So log that. All right, movement. So this would be more of anything that you do to move your body for enjoyment. It doesn't have to be how many calories you burned. It could just be an activity that you did that you enjoyed. So what did I do? I did walk today for about 30 minutes. And, maybe did that not long after my meal. So I'm going to save that then. Was my intensity level? It was a moderate pace. So I'll kind of mark that as moderate. And then my intention was just to be a little restorative. So I just ate a meal and wanted to kind of walk, help it digest a little bit. So that's how I'll mark it. How did it move and feel for you? Well, it was. I'm gonna have a mixed bag about it. And then how did my motivation compare to the experience? So what was my motivation of it versus wanting versus doing? So I feel like it was maybe slightly less enjoyable than I expected. And now I feel about the same. I noticed that while I was walking, my back began to stiffen after 15 minutes. So that might have made the walk slightly less enjoyable than it normally would have been. So I'm going to save that activity. Body check-ins. This is just a gentle, if you're trying to figure out where you're holding tension and why, this might be a good place to at least start. So the question is how ready are you to assess how you feel in your body right now? Well, yeah, I'm definitely very present. Can I sense my breath? I somewhat hold tension right now. I'm, making this recording, and I can sometimes hold tension in my chest when I am trying to make a recording for people. So where do I feel the breath moving? Yeah, definitely in through my chest, and some in my belly as well. My body's energy today, it has been kind of steady. I wouldn't call it high, and I wouldn't call it low either. My sleep was actually fair. I have 2 cats that enjoy waking me up in the middle of the night, and they actually didn't bother me too well. So this next question here is checking in with my physical sensations, where I might feel tense, there might be a dull ache, and I might feel some tightness. And then it kind of asks you to do a survey of all over your body. So where in your body you're actually feeling this. So you can select a bunch of options. My neck and my lower back are actually feeling a little tension right now. And if there is a feeling that's not been reflected here, maybe try and find your own words for it. So that kind of holds that space for you to expand if there are options that are not available to you. There we go with the feelings again. If you want to sort of indicate how you're feeling in this moment, right now I'm feeling generally inquisitive and also open. So I'm gonna mark that for sure. And what might be influencing this? Well, I am recording a demo. And then what are your needs in this moment? Well, I do actually need a little quiet time. So I'll be happy to be able to get some rest as soon as I hop off this demo. Or if my needs are not being reflected in these choices here, I can kind of describe them there and then add any thoughts there. But once I'm done, I can save my check-in. And then what this does is it actually puts everything into an insights flow. So you can kind of go into a rhythm of what, once you start to log more insights, it does kind of give you a little bit of a guide as to what your things you were noticing, what patterns you might see. So this will be a really great tool to use over time. Reflections. This is really more the journal piece. So anything you'd want to write about, that you might just want to get through and see yourself write out, any thoughts and feelings you might be having. But there's also some guided prompts too that around a whole variety of topics: food and eating, body awareness, gratitude, self-compassion, belief deconstruction. That's a big one. So you can select any one of these, and then once you do, here's the prompt, and then you can put your reflection there. So I won't do all that right now. So my intentions, I call these intentions because they're not necessarily, I don't want to call them goals or any sort of obligations. So this is really just an intention, one thing that I want to do. There's no pressure to do it, but something I would like to do. So I want to take a 10-minute walk outside. It matters to me because I like to be out in nature and get some sun. This would be a self-care category, and I want to be able to do it daily. So I'm going to set that intention, and it's going to keep track of that for me. My favorites, this is sort of another a feature where you actually get to save links that you find helpful to you. Okay, and then Soma Guide AI is actually a sort of a chat. It does not give any sort of advice, but it does prompt you with questions that you can kind of explore. If there's no one else around to help you explore that. So I just want to ask, what is the best way to work with you? And this will tell you exactly what they're here for. It is a companion in Somyn. You can explore your relationship with food, movement, your body, and your emotions. So think of Soma Guide as a thoughtful friend who's genuinely curious about your experience without any judgment. So be sure that you're sharing openly, being real with yourself about what you're sharing. Let curiosity lead. Don't let any judgment fall in your questions. Be gentle with yourself, and let it know I'd like you to notice things. So you can ask it, what patterns do you see in my eating lately? Or can we look at why I felt low energy this week? So what it won't do is that it won't tell you what to eat. It won't push weight loss, count calories, or label foods as good or bad. So Soma Guide's not here to prescribe. It's just here to help you reflect and help you tune into your body's own wisdom. So one more thing, and it is a very important disclaimer. So Soma Guide AI is not a substitute for professional support. So it often can feel bigger than what we can explore together. So Soma Guide does encourage you to connect with a qualified provider if emergencies or crisis situations come up. So just want you to be able to lean on this tool for support, but there will come a time when a professional might need to be involved. This is one of my favorite new features. It's a relational mirror. So a lot of times when we are having conversations with people, we have feelings that or physical sensations that come up in our bodies that often stay with us even after the conversation is over. So this is a great way to kind of explore, okay, what happened, just give us the facts. And then it kind of walks you through all these different steps to explore where you might feeling in the body and how you might be able to perhaps let that go. And even in a Plus membership, it offers patterns as well. Tarot analysis is another one of my favorite new features. What it can do for you is actually, if you are even if you're a seasoned tarot reader or if you've never had a tarot reading whatsoever, this is a great way to not look at tarot as any sort of predictive measure. It's not a crystal ball, it's more of a mirror. So what it does is it can actually show you things it brings things to your conscious mind that your subconscious might not have a name for yet. So this is a great way to kind of, is there anything you're seeking clarity on? Is there something, specific you're wanting to get out of this reading? A lot of readers will kind of read reversals, so there might be a different meaning if a card shows up upside down. You have the option to pick blindly for your cards, or if you already have cards that maybe you had a reading for previously and you're just looking for a little extra insight, hey, bring it on. Happy to help you out with that interpretation there. And then you also have different options of ways to kind of explore your readings and the different kind of spreads you can do. And at the end, once you put everything in, once you select your cards, it does give you a pretty great reading. Your resource library, I am going to put more information on there, but this is also a place for when different providers are sharing resources for their clients, they can add them here. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to add is to make Somyn a community-based app. So rather than spend a bunch of money on marketing, I would prefer just sharing the profits with the people that share it with their friends. So I do offer you can earn up to 20% every month. A paid subscriber stays subscribed. So let's say you refer a friend and they pay for a Plus membership, or even if you refer someone who is a provider that sets up an account, or for Somyn for work, which is something different, you can earn referral commissions from that every time they are a subscriber. When you first set up your account, you'll actually get a walkthrough of the app, so you can kind of see the different sections and what they're for. There is a way to contact me with either general questions, if you're a provider, if you have questions, or if you're an employer and you'd like to have a partnership, I'm happy to take that feedback, and also a feedback and suggestions tab. So any ideas or feature requests, as long as we stay on track or in alignment with the Somyn mission of, we're not tracking numbers, we are noticing patterns in our feelings. And of course, there's also a wide variety of settings that you can pick from. If you prefer a different tone with your Soma guide, you can change that. There's all sorts of things that you can change. You're also welcome to, as a Plus member, you can export your data. So if you ever want to sort of take any of this information that you've been gathering and send it on to any of your wellness team, any providers, you are certainly welcome to do that. Okay, but that is what I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My name is Ashley. I can be reached at ashley@somynjournal.app.com. Thanks for watching.